back with this. So, people are familiar with the um, video game Mortal Kombat. It's a dude on there named Raiden. Raiden is his actual storyline is the storyline of Orisha's Shinron, which is the translation to the story of Jesus Christ. And if you do not believe me, you look up Raiden's story and you look up um, Egyptian's religion, Egyptology, and Mr. Osiris, or they'll probably call him Orisis. His story corroborates with Raiden from Mortal Kombat. And Raiden gets killed by the temple dwellers, and he is the king of the underworld, and he is the temple keeper. Same thing with Orisis, Shinron, which is the Benin, the ancient culture before the innovation that that created that which furthermore created the place we call Egypt today. Not today, of today, but the Egypt in which we all know and love. We still love Egypt. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying. Them niggas need help too. But it's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful place. But that's what I'm talking about. So and then Orisha Shinron is just the light of all lights, the kings of all light, and it's just the sun, which is just the light. That's all its meaning, is just the light. And that's the story of Raiden. It's the story of Raiden, and Raiden actually came from a clan from um uh from Japan, but this stems back further than Japan because its religious means goes back to the Shinto and the Shinobi. The Shinto and the Shinobi of Japanese culture, and their culture would translate back to the Jin, in which we would get the word Genesis and the etymology of the understanding of words, um, in which it would translate over to the beginning, in which uh, our ethnicity started. That's a horrible way of putting it. In which the origins that it all came from, that's a better way to put it, all started from, which would be the the uh, the negroid. There you go, the negroid, the phonetic nig nig nigger, the phonetic nigger. As speaking as an individual. Now pay attention. So you get the Genesis, the word Jin, the Shinito, Jin as in meaning chi, in the beginning of the fiery flame, the I think it's called the Papalis, or it's a word for I think it's not phosphorus, but it's a Papullus, something like that. But it's a term for like a fire flame wheel thrower or something. So it's something like that, like virus or something like that. That's exactly what it's. That's exactly what it is, and that's the term for it. And basically, that's the word Jin, and the fiery Jin in the continuation of the fiery gen, so fire religion. So from that, which would be the beginning, and Jin means fire, and that just means your soul. In the beginning, in the Genesis, it would mean where it came from, and it's just the origins would originate with the niggas. Okay, you following me? That is where you would get ninjutsu from. I'm done. Get some. You dig me? So debunked. Just did it again. Woo! You feel me? So that's where ninjutsu would come from. Real talk. You know, it's crazy. And you can do your research. Raiden is the same story of Orisha Shinron or Osiris. And Osiris is just a geographical storytelling of how everything came to be. And Raiden and Jesus is the same person, and Raiden is depicted as the hero, and Heru is just the light. And Raiden is really the translation to Raijin and Japan, and Japan is just the cultivator of the the ninjas. I don't know if it's they're the cultivator of ninjutsu, but I do know the origins of ninjutsu came from niggas because also be, not only because of the niggas and how it translates over to niggas. I can't even use the word juju because that's a that's a that's a suffix for sorcery. And they didn't call it sorcery. They called their magic like Orisha. Oh yeah, they call it Orisha. Orisha. That's what they called it in the origins of. Um, they used to call them. They didn't call it Lemuria. That's that monkey. How we used to be like hairy primates, Lemurians, but they used to call it like Negra, Negra. It was a lot of nigga continents. It's a whole lot of those. But yeah, that's how it all is. You can do your own research, straight up, and that's the truth. You can do your research and it'll line completely up. Now, if that's true, and that's true, and that's true, and that's that nigga telling the truth. You can do your own research. You can look at the pronunciation, the etymology. You put it all together, and what do you get? That shit. Niggas was the first ninjas. The Mortal Kombat story is really about niggas. All that. You know what I'm saying? Um, all them characters are really Egyptian gods, and all them Egyptian gods are really lecturers. Those are all classes, not classes as in ranks, like nigga you playing online. Is classes as in um, I don't want to say alchemy. They're science classes, like the basics of elements that you need to know of in order to make magic, in order to know how to manufacture and use magic again, to use to know how to use biotechnology to be scientific. You know what I'm saying? They're all classes in which you learn it that way. They just made it fun and put it in the scriptures, like so it could be like fun and entertaining for you to know and love. You know? Hence why, really, hence why every single time you learn them or you talk about them, they teach you about um, um, goodwill, geography, or uh, science, but they have deeper meanings to them. They have real deeper meanings to them, and they just used them in class to help um, instill the spirituality, so you never left the earth again. You know what I'm saying? They taught you hard lessons, and and not only science but self spiritualism. So much so that that you can use them in like any given situation, like scriptures and Bibles are today. They use those and took they use those Egyptian mythological gods, and some people, um for example, the Egyptians, they made tombs. You had to advance. They understood, as well as the rest of our a lot of our brothers and sisters in the past, and as of today, they understand that you have to go through a spiritual um, evolution and spiritual enlightenment and advancement just to grow in life. So you need obstacles in your way. So just to put it simple and plain, these Egyptians would build like labyrinths, or like they would build like pyramids and tombs with different like magical instances or like different creatures. I also heard of the Sphinx back in the day when I was like 7, that they used to splice DNA in that Sphinx. They even used to splice like alien DNA in the Sphinx. I know people have heard this, and I also used to see that little naked Egyptian cat that they don't even want to show us anymore because um, it resembles a memory that we all used to have back in the day. That Egyptian cat was really a metamorphosized Egyptian, still lying and waiting until the reincarnation of one of their Egyptians' brothers and sisters will come back, so they can reform into a humanoid being or alien, so they can either fight them again, or they gain forces so they can fight back. You know what I'm saying? They just, lying and waiting because they found out not necessarily to found the youth, but just to prolong their lives, or their lifetimes wasn't passed, because they understood and they studied sexuality to a T. So they knew how to live their lives. But there's no such thing as immortality. You know what I'm saying? You have to live your life. You have to have a beginning to and you have to have an end to a beginning, or you just can't even start. So it can't even be complete. But in terms of lifespans or just life cycles, then you most definitely can stay alive until your soulmate comes back, and y'all wreck shop, or you wait until the person that you're attracted to as a nemesis to come back so you can try to whip his ass and still lose. However you want, you have all the permission in the world to do that because that's a part of your life. You know what I'm saying? Um, but that's not my point. My point is that they used to build these tombs and pyramids to either scare the living crap out of you. I gotta edit these videos. I'm just trying to limit the amount of work I gotta do. I don't want to be lazy. To scare the living shit out of you so you can continue to grow, or they will put stories in them, or get you to read things, or put technology in there to project television screens or stargates so you can go through them. I also heard that the pyramids was a stargate that they people would go in those pyramids with their soulmates, and the pyramids would go into to outer space, and they would spend literally a lifetime in those pyramids, and the technology enabled them to go to a stargate and actually be one, and actually live that life in that pyramid in a realitated setting, through the mantra of their sexuality, basically through the frequency of both of their beings being one, living in that life and living throughout each other's lifetimes in different multiplicities and variations, like a virtual reality super pyramid dome thing. So I also heard that. So yeah, so I also have down here, Um, as so as also is being named, like they say the word Africa. That's dope. We love Africa, but there's been hugely recorded origins of us having continents named Negra and Moreno and things like Aztecs. You know, because you got Aztecs. Aztecs just means A to Z text. You know what I'm saying? So we talking about all this sorcery, voodoo, and biomechanisms, and that's the origins of everything. Why wouldn't you be called the A to Z text, nigga? You lit. You know what I'm saying? Right. So how's that a coincidence? People gotta wake up, man. I'm not saying they were black. I heard they was brown, but you know what I'm saying? It's just the origins is niggas. Niggas, niggers, morenos. It is not a disgrace to be called a nigga. Got so much power because y'all saying it wrong. And then it got so much power because people are trying to tell you that you saying it wrong. And they don't want you to say it no more. But we love saying the word nigga because we deep in our heart somewhere is saying that nigga, you love saying the word nigga because you a nigga. You know what I'm saying? And they shouldn't be telling you what to not. See, that's where we at with again. Because of misinformation. We don't know who to talk to. We don't know what we saying. And we got to argue just to find out a solution. Arguments. You know, we're meaning to come out with a solution through friction. Friction through an arrangement of mentalities. You know what I'm saying? It's an argument. No right or wrong. We just don't know. You know, you quiet. Trust me. The art of deception. Uh, what does this say? Art of, I think it says uh, talent. So okay, I don't know what that means. Um, I don't know what this is saying, but I do know that it says talents. People say that you're talented. Um, oh, okay. So the art of deception cannot exist unless you don't know that you're talented. See, your talents are your teeth, are your canines. This is your this is how you become savvy and visceral. How you become instinctual with your beastly animalistic nature through your teeth, through your teeth, not only your mouth teeth, but metaphorically speaking, through your artistic teeth, through your beastly mentality, through your talents, through your hands. So if people can teach you how to not be talented and not use your talents at all, through nature, you can get out of any situation by just using your talents naturally, whether you know the truth or not, you know, and that's real. You know what I'm saying? Because you're just acting naturally through your talents in which the universe made for you to act upon accordingly to however you feel because it gave you the answer in the first place. That's how you just know that you're going to be okay every single time you do something you love. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. But they convince you that you ain't got no talent, low self esteem. We went through the weekend era. We got Kodak Black. We got all these depressing ass motherfuckers. We growing up now. It's grownish. You know what I mean? But that's how they get you. They get you to sit down, nigga. Take an IQ test, nigga. You don't know shit, nigga. The fuck? You ain't seen me dunk, nigga, today. You know what I'm saying? They tell you otherwise, then what you got, nigga? You motherfucker with an IQ score. You know what I'm saying? And they can continue to astonish you with iPhones and all that bull, the BS and shit. You know what I'm saying? Astonish. There's a great word that used to flow through our realms that we used to hold up to par with everything that we did, and we used to call her Ashanti. Astonish is to be in a pool of water in which its randomization surprises you, but Ashanti is like a euphoric state in which we are all. I don't want to cop out, but Ashanti is just you being one with your talent. You know what I'm saying? And all of us being in love with the talents that she holds. And of course, there's deeper meaning to that, but that's what we say. It's astonishment that comes from something that which we weren't expecting, and it surprises the hell out of us. But it comes from a talented place, and it completely it's dope and shit like that. But it surprises us, and it's kind of like kind of uh, it surprises you, like it gets you it's not offbeat. It caught you off guard, like it astonished you. You know what I'm saying? But Ashanti means that you're one again. I mean you're one with it, and you're in a state of oneness, and we're all cultivating um, our talents, and we're all in the paradise of our talents. These are the words that came from our Egyptian heritage. All these incredibly immaculate words like Ashanti, nigga, like this truth about where it all comes from and who we talking about right now. Because it's crazy if a place that actually came up with the word Ashanti was actually as scientifically and culturally advanced as we do say, and they called this this place in which we practice our talents. You know, that's not even putting that into right contents, but we didn't. It wouldn't be described as where we would be practicing our talents. It would be like an oasis in which our talents is so in unison with each other. Not only in each other, but it's like not on. It's just, it would just be in constant flow. Like it would be without saying, and they would call that place Ashanti. You know what I'm saying? That's where you would get it from. Like, which would be the coldest place you could ever be, and they would call it Ashanti. So knowledge defeats all. People. Um, so I've been learning. I've been going everywhere for a while now. I got in a lot of different things. I learned a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? Before I found out the truth, and I found out it just rounded back up to me just being an environmentalist and humanitarian and just fight for what's right. And I actually found out that I could literally be a Jedi Knight, like a lightsaber, and that's just who I am. I just want to do what's right. You know what I'm saying? So the world would always remember me. You know what I'm saying? They'll always remember people that's always doing right or trying to do right. It's in my DNA. You know what I'm saying? And you know, through this knowledge that I learned, and I found out that what people out here trying to do, and you know, all this investing in real estate and stuff. People always asking other people like, you know, what we invest in, this and that and other, and you know what I need to do in real estate. Yo, first you need to find out. Um, first, the first thing you need to that you need to invest in is like organic real estate. Like, not saying the word organic as in fake organic. So I'm talking about organic as in the authenticated, like authentic fruits and vegetables, like real fruits and vegetables with like seeds in them, and actually using like urine and you know poop as fertilizer, or just having animals live in that environment while you just cooking up farm foods and you know what I'm saying, not eating the animals and nothing like that. And doing the same for the water around there, just letting the water be natural, no fishing or nothing like that, because that all, equates into like the actual environment and the food we eat and the water you breathe. I mean, the water you breathe, the air you breathe. I cross that hoe like it's crazy. Cross myself, man. Nigga, duh. But you invest in places like that, hydro foods. You know, just using water, no chemicals, biotechnology, the innovations of the like right biotechnology. Like stop coming to the table with like windmills and shit that damn weigh a ton and ain't blowing no fucking wind. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop investing your money in like solar panels. They giving them hoes away for free because ain't nobody buying them because they still charging people. Like, um, stop investing in like renewable energy Like invest in like historic things like energy that they can just sap out the sky. Like invest in like charging and charging your electronics out of thin air, or things like that, or charging your electronics, or getting light from just nature. Invest in things like that, or invest in like biometric architecture, like things that not only enhance the environment around us, but help things grow around us. Stop investing in like real estate that they're just building with like old mop heads, and you know what I'm saying, just calling any construction company, and they just knocking down a half a mountain so they can charge people mortgage payments for like apartment complexes and shit. And you know what I'm saying? I witnessed that just now. I was like, man, they just knocked down this mountain. Wasn't nothing out here, and now y'all charging people. And nigga, I slept over here. Nah, like people walk over there all the time. Now you going, and it looks like a luxury place, and y'all charging people bank for this? Wow, crazy. You know what I'm saying? Stop investing in places like that. You know what I'm saying? Those things, those things aren't going to feed your children's children. It's like it's not going to feed your great grandchildren like that. It's not. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely not. And for the long run, even after that, it's not. They gonna tear that down like they tear everything else down, or it's gonna be ran by another company because it's so high. You know what I'm saying? Those things are bad investments, all in all. And it's, even if you believe, or if you get you know some type of blowback before you take off, you get some type of you get some money back before you take off. I understand people's their feedback when they get that kind of information. I get you. I get where you're coming from, but you need to but take more responsibility, and instead of destroying something, but instead of investing in something that really doesn't make a change other than you making a little change off of it, really invest in something that's gonna make a change and affect everybody off of the change that you put in to that investment to make a change for people that is gonna last forever, versus something that is probably not gonna even feed your children's children. You know what I'm saying? Do something better with that investment. Come up with a better idea, or start something better or start something that's just gonna change the whole entire world. It's gonna change. Man, you can do more than what you believe you can. Like I can hear the electricity now. Like people are like, man, what this dude? I'm like, man, you can use your mind. Like I didn't really want to pull this car, but you are a light as well as everybody else is. So you have the talent and the creativity to come up with something better than just investing in some real estate. That's just like these apartments they built like 5 years ago, and people paying bank for this. And San Diego got the highest homeless rate. I think like, I don't know, the highest homeless rate in California. I would have to stay in the whole country, but what I'm saying, I ain't never heard anything else anywhere else. But they could have invested in some um, self reliant energy. This whole place could have been like crops. They could have had some science institute, and this whole thing should have just been dorms for people that just wanted to inquire into like, or just learn like science activity, or alchemetics, or you know, just this could be like an elementary school. Like there's so many things that people could have came up with other than just trying to make a quick buck off of somebody's mortgage payments and stuff like that. Like that's nothing. I ain't doing nothing but, having a fixed income, and that's just a cop out to, your life. You got to go do that somewhere else instead of making a change that can also have an impact on yours as well. Instead of jumping around trying to get this many properties out of you, you can change something right here and make a complete difference in which you don't even have to hop on the next property. You can just be free with everybody else. You know what I'm saying? But people ain't really thinking like that. They keep propelling, but you can't judge people because they just don't know. You know what I'm saying? You can't judge them at all because they don't know. They don't know if they invest in the proper investments they'll be freeing themselves too. They just see that short money. They think all these investments is long money. No, it's shorter. It's short. It's just not as short as some of these flips that some people doing on the streets. Yours is just a longer short. A longer you know a less shorter one. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna catch up to you eventually. You're gonna have to make another bust deal. You still looking for another lick, just like they were. But you know what I'm saying? It's just real. You know what I'm saying? So we all got to make a difference, so we don't have to keep struggling. Because as long as you got money in your hand, you know, time is time is of the essence. You know what I'm saying? Even them old people, even them people with that old money doing something, they paying taxes or they trying to make a move, or people trying to buy their stuff out. You know what I'm saying? The two people, you know, I'd say it's a few people that isn't affected by people by money. People that know the truth, people that's okay with, you know, living in this society, and they're doing the best they can just to live happy lives, and they don't even want to trip about what's the actual truth, and people in the matrix are just chilling, loving their life. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got to be a clone, but they see something out of order since they don't know the truth, they'll bust on one. You know what I'm saying? Or they might act differently because they understand a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And they just ask the questions here and there, and Morpheus is on your ass. So, also the people that own money don't ain't worried about money. Homeless people ain't worried about money. They'll look at you like you're crazy. Sometimes they try to give them $1 or something. Like, yeah, and I understand because them aliens maybe do the same thing. Like, nigga, we hate money. You love money, we hate you. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't like money. I don't even want to touch it. Then they were like, we're gonna induct you back in the game. Once we teach you everything, so touch it. And I was like, nah, because you already threatened me, and I don't like money. We like, nigga, touch it. You know what I'm saying? But and I still didn't like it. I still kind of burn like I was kind of close to burning $100 bill, but I used to burn money too. You know what I'm saying? That used to be something else I did. Like I hated it so much. I lived in the hood. I'm like, man, all this shit for this nigga, we burn this shit. Shit ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? And it's really not. You can create your own freedom. That's how. That's how. That's how absent that we actually are from the actual truth. If niggas really knew, like I said, if niggas knew that this blade of grass, this concrete behind me, these lights, was actually an extension of your being, that you can literally grab this up, you can be your own Iron Man, the whole thing. If they knew, literally, if they knew the sciences behind that, and they knew that you were actually an extension of the universe, and this was your power, these are your hands, just like your hands is on you. If the world knew that, man, it'd be crazy. I'm I'm already learning how to invent stuff and all types of deals, man. I can't wait to help the world and stuff. But you know, also scientists brings to my next point. Scientists would know that money isn't everything. Scientists hate money. Biologists, all them niggas, they hate money. They're like, nigga, what the and they're like, man, so much better living out of nature and just, you know, yeah, used to be scientists. I'm telling them to be so damn loud. Used to be scientists back in the days. Some of them like just be hung up in their quarters, or some of them go and be homeless and stuff because they would know so much. They were like, man, I hated having a mortgage and all that stuff. They were like, I hated it. You know what I'm saying? Knowledge. So knowledge defeats all. Like also, invest in like. Oh, also, man. Investors will even tell you that money isn't everything. Warren Buffett to say that. Investing like herbs, like people tripping over like the weed boom. Man, let me tell you something. Everybody knew that the weed boom was, man, dang. The weed boom was out to blow. I'm not for to speak on like drugs and stuff like that. There's other professionals and they talk about the charges and all that stuff like that. I didn't know that was that lopsided and stuff and all types of deals. But on the real, they trying to get y'all on a catch 22 again because they just trying to get y'all. They really spitting in y'all face when it comes to these marijuana dispensaries because they lock so many people up for it. You know what I'm saying? And then they next thing they're gonna do, because before then opiums was legal and cocaine and all that stuff, the whole deal. That's all that stuff is opium. And then they doing the same thing. They cross reversing doing that with marijuana. Now everybody buying into marijuana because they got them all hooked up with it through influencers, along with this genetically altered food. Because what you're really dealing with is that you're searching for oxygen, so your brain is always looking for a high because it's really needing air, and you're not getting any oxygen from this food that you're eating because the food that you're eating doesn't have oxygen or electricity and it's really dead or genetically altered. Um, uh, Alternate supplements to the actual food that you're supposed to be eating, which would be just which would be live greens, which is completely oxidated electronical water food. You know what I'm saying? Um, Completely nutritious to your being. It's completely alive. You eat this shit, nigga. That's electricity. That's water. That's electricity. That's nectar. That's good for your mucous membrane. It helps it, keep going. You're getting information from the universe. That's exactly how we ate our food. That's exactly how we talk to nature. It was through nature, and we ate it, and it spoke back. You know what I'm saying? That we're getting nectar. That's great for our mucous membrane. That's electricity to our electricity, and that's how we speaking to it as well. You know what I'm saying? That food is alive. You know what I'm saying? Don't go to, I'm a victim of ultimate cheeseburgers. Okay, I'm the same one. I love ultimate cheeseburger, but man, I knew it, motherfucker. But I knew it wasn't too far from one of them Play-Doh easy bake oven burgers. They so damn fake. You know what I'm saying? But once I learned the truth, you know what I'm saying? Man, I hopped off of that because my body was tripping, my mind was tripping, and I was still being a man in the house. I was learning about my diets. I was, doing this, I was doing that. I was just learning. And I found out the deal. I got off of all of it. Man, crazy. Man, I went from fasting, eating only fish, eating only vegetables, not even knowing which vegetables to eat and stuff like that. That's another one of them cycles again. Like I talked about, if you didn't know what you was talking about, you don't know what what fruits and vegetables to eat because you can't eat all fruits and vegetables. You know what I'm saying? There's some things out there that's like hybrid food, so you wouldn't get all the electrons or protons you would need from food, which would be protein and alkaline. You know, electrolytes. Electricity and strength. You know what I'm saying? But if you didn't, but if you don't know, then you kind of still eating hybrid foods, and you're not getting the oxygen, you're not getting the energy, that full on energy that you need, so you tripping. You know what I'm saying? But luckily, I was good enough to find, Dr. Sebi's list, and he corroborated with my information, my research, and he corroborated with the aliens and what I was taught and all that stuff, and they all lined up, and I was like, man, this is crazy. I ain't find this out until I got done with my deal and stuff like that. I don't want to say too much, but after I got done talking to aliens and stuff, and I found out Dr. Sebi, I was like, man, thank God, this is a blessing right here. because I needed to find somebody that knew what they was talking about, did they research, and he lined up everything. That's how I know, and I can vouch for him like DMX. I know dude know what he talking about, man. I did all that research, and I was like, man, this dude know what he talking about, because it's exactly what I was taught, what I learned, and this is exactly in accordance with what nature says and does, and exactly in accordance with just science in general. I was like, I know what he's saying. This it talks to us. We are it, and this is what it means, and this is what we're supposed to be eating. I know what he's talking about. Biochemistry, the structural, the harmony of everything. I was like, I do know what he's talking about. You're not supposed to eat anything out of disharmony. You know what I'm saying? It's horrible. So I was about to say something else, but man, it was something important too. But everybody got everybody they got you on this investing in marijuana thing. But really, what's gonna happen is that okay, after marijuana, then where everybody gonna go? Everybody really gonna start searching for okay, what's real organic, what's the new best thing, what's this and that, what's this and that. Okay, they got y'all to believe, okay, cocaine's not a drug, marijuana's not a drug, and everybody's going vegan. Okay, what's the next best thing? Everybody's gonna be like, okay, we gotta find out the real origins, what's real, what's fake. You know, that's the type of people I hate. And what's gonna come next is everybody gonna go straight back to the jungle. They gonna be like, okay, what y'all over here smoking? What y'all doing and stuff like that? And you know, majority of niggas ain't gonna tell them what the deal is. I'm like, we ain't selling them, we ain't for the change nothing, we ain't selling none this, none the other. Y'all done did that so many times. Come on now. You know, really, it's gonna go back to everybody gonna go straight back to them herbs, and everybody gonna look for herbal healing because these medicines ain't working, these scientists ain't working. I'm predict this is gonna happen like 5 or 10 years, and everybody gonna go back to herbal remedies. Everybody gonna start dropping marijuana because they dropping marijuana now. Even though it's everywhere, everybody ain't smoking it. They got marijuana shops closing today, and this is true. And everybody gonna go down back to the herbal remedies, and everybody gonna try to get everybody out of jail for these charges. Everybody getting exposed, and the government is laughing right back in everybody's faces about this shit because they making bank off of this shit, and they the ones that put all these niggas in jail, slapping all these enhancements. Not only on these people, but on these people that's opening these drug shops and marijuana stores and stuff like that, so they can get even more money because they're like, oh, people finna go off on this shit. Now people gonna really want, you know, the super real thing. They're like, okay, if marijuana cures this, then what does this cure if I smoke it? They're like, oh, this is the herb that does it. Oh, this and that. They're gonna start talking. Everybody gonna start selling herbs. Real talk. That's really gonna go to, and then from selling herbs, they're gonna be like, okay, we got the cure to this, we got the cure to that. Oh, this really cures that. You just gotta stop eating this. Oh, we gotta do the research on why this and this is gonna happen. This is gonna be in like a seven. This is gonna be in like a 7 to 10 year span when they're gonna start doing that. I promise you. Whether they try to cover it up or not, that's really what's gonna happen. And all they gotta do is also invest in like seeds. Um, seeds because you plant crops and it just plant crops, seeds, herbal remedies, change the world and make a difference and just open people's eyes and they just find the truth from there. You know what I'm saying? It don't take much. Just stop investing in real estate like that. Man, I had a bomb to drop, man. I had some knowledge, but I forgot what I was gonna say. But I guess I'll just continue on. So what's crazy is that another corroboration to what I'm talking about is how does women, and these are just random facts. I'm not practicing this. This is just random facts. How does a woman get milk right after as how does okay how does how women getting milk from either when they're having children or after they have a child, because the child has to develop a brain and strong bones, and they have to grow from the woman's milk. You know what I'm saying? So, what makes us believe that cow milk is the best solution for us? And it's not. I'm just putting plain and simple so I can delete this. It's not. We're supposed to be drinking women milk, like women breast milk. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be sexual. Nor am I trying to disrespect my ancestors. Fuck y'all, because I love my ancestors, but I love y'all too, my people. But I'm not gonna disrespect my ancestors nor your natural nature because you're sexual beings and y'all know what it means to be completely sexual. So you say pause. I got somebody passing me. Anybody can watch videos. Okay, so when you say women breast milk, and that's what you're supposed to be drinking, not cow breast milk. You feel me? It has all the embryonic membrane mucus that you need to grow and continue to grow. Anybody got Alzheimer's or I say, man, Alzheimer's, multiple sclerosis, anything that has to do with the nerves and rebuilding nerves and bone marrow or anything, I think you need to be drinking breast milk. Yep, yep. People think it's a joke too. And I'm dead ass. I'm dead ass serious. I actually do. Dr. Sebi's diet, those herbs and breast milk, boy, how you strong. If that corroborates with biology, science, I know people use science and biology loosely, like the word love. Like I said, I'm completely transcendent. Do your research. If that is true, why wouldn't that be? And it builds your brain, and it doesn't happen until that child is being born. That means all that information into life building is going into that woman's breast, into milk, so that child can drink it. That means that is another form of fountain of youth to your nerves and building and structuring the brain from that woman's breast that we are not drinking. And they even trying to get some of the women to stop feeding those children and feeding them, what is it called? They call it solution formula. Right. Like you don't have the solution, and that information is also coming from your brain, from that fetus into that cream, that embryonic cream juice. So anybody can watch my videos. That's what I put in my notes because I'm talking to everybody. I wish people in Africa knew. I wish India knew. And actually, they do this by nature. You know what I'm saying? Also, the aliens told me, said, don't put this all on your back like that because all this is going to happen naturally. And I agreed. Because it just is. I will. But I got to put this out here for anybody to watch one day because I'm going to be out here working hard. I fell asleep last night, man. It's crazy. I got trouble. I did not know I was that sleepy. Man, I've been up beaming. That diet will have you beaming. Yeah. Increase your sexual activity too, man. Not lying. Well, I was at Trader Joe's trading Joe's. And not lying. I was looking at everything that passed me. And old ladies was like, "Oh, you're not gonna." I'm like, I do you too. I love just you. You don't get me mad. You know what grinds my gears? Why does the Trader Joe's have any aisle descriptions? Like you look up and you look retarded because they shit there. You be like, yeah, I'm gonna say Pokemon in this aisle. Is there any pretzels here or something? Like you look up and it don't say shit. I'm like, how am I supposed to know what's in this aisle if there's nothing here telling me that there's nothing in this aisle? You want me to walk down the aisle, Trader Joe's? Let me talk to you real quick. All this goddamn wood, you can't come up with one fucking sign. Anybody can watch my videos. I encourage foreigners because the aliens. Oh, also, aliens loved like native people. Like they cried because people like conform to like American the American dream and shit. Like people be like, oh, this is American dream, and people start talking proper, going corporate and shit. Aliens hate that shit. They're like, nigga, do you not know what the fuck you is? Like, you don't know what kind of Indian you are. You like you forgot about your religion, and like a lot of the aliens, like they're so agricultural, they're so emotional, they're so instinctive, they're so natural, they're so artistic, and a lot of them come from our native pride lands. Every single last one of us, you even hear stories back in the day, or even see depictions of aliens coming in different spaceships according to the people that they admired. So admired or came from in the past. So when they see them now, they're like, man, I fucking hate that shit. Like, man, but I love them, and they're like, I still look after him, and I can still see a part of him still in there, and they realize as well that they gotta grow with him. You know what I'm saying? They just miss them. You know what I'm saying? Scientific warm-hearted agricultural geniuses, and also they were just those people back in the day were just as they were just as intelligent as the aliens that were visiting, if not more intelligent. They admired their art. The aliens only came down because they loved their art. They weren't like abducting people. Some people they were abducting, but they really, you can't. How we gonna call them gods if they came down here admiring what we was doing and shit? You know what I'm saying? We ain't attracting people for nothing. I mean, not saying that's why we attract people, but it's not. You know, we don't have the ability to track these beings in other people. You know what I'm saying? Just because we're a bunch of small fries, you got some spunk, you got some real talent to attract extraterrestrial beings. Also, I got in here that all of our devices naturally have infinite energy. Man, so I'm learning the way of my ancestors and like biotechnology. Nigga, I'm taking apart batteries. These niggas got 2, 3 chemicals in one rod, and basically it's like a bowl full of cereal. Once you get done eating that shit, it's gone. You know what I'm saying? And that's what these batteries are made out of. I'm thinking that they got like an element they done found that is like super electrified and all that shit. And you just charge it and recharge it. No, these niggas got chemicals in there, and it just reacts. That means literally on this screen, this is exactly what they doing. They taking nature, putting it in the screen, and re-astonishing us. They're just astonishing us out here. I said that incorrectly, but they're just astonishing us out here. That's all they doing. That means you just found some elements in nature, put it together like a bomb, a Baghdad battery, put it in a rod, put it with a rod, and now it just emits electricity. You just put two elements in nature together and call it a battery. I mean, that's what it is, but you know what I'm saying? Like, because in nature, I had to say in outer space, you would still have televisions. Aliens still use televisions through their telekinesis. Um, I, I heard that different agricultural architectures um, had stargates like Stonehenge and Egypt, and underwater pyramids did too, and some of them still active at the Bermuda Triangle. Like there were still things like that of that nature. Area 51 had some portals and shit like that, but um, snowflakes have snowflakes and water, and fossils and clouds, and the way our geography is formed, the way your eyes look at everything is all television. You know what I'm saying? In forms in which we see it, I would have to say outer space, but somewhere I think that's another form of what a black hole or a white hole would be, or that's a cop out. I'm just saying, like, I'm pretty sure there's somewhere out there in outer space. I know there's illuminescent things underwater and jungles and stuff like that. But in terms of just like a screen like this, I would have to say somewhere in outer space, it would it would be seen naturally doing this. You know what I'm saying? Because some snowflakes you can't really see like that, or emitting a frequency and creating a shape. But if you want to really see nature doing that on its own, I would have to say there are wormholes in space and stuff like that, or on planets from space that's emitting a television on its own. You know what I'm saying? Because you already do it naturally from your eyes, so it has to be true. Okay. Um, there were hood niggas during spiritual times. Hood niggas were actually priestess. They were like huge priestess, black people that were hoods, um, and they fought for what's right. They fought uh, for what was right in the darkest of times, and I have to say those were like the first Jedi Knights or something like that, because they were spiritual Baptists. That's really where that came from as well. I'm not trying to say black people did it first or nothing like that. I'm just speaking facts. But in terms of YouTube, so I would naturally listen to somebody from the streets or from our neighborhoods, not in terms of relatability. It's just not in terms of relativeness. It's just everybody online that's corporate and not like from the same neighborhoods or not from the people. It's like they're always trying to sell you something or a lie or guide you into a certain direction so you can buy into a certain product, and they never tell you the truth. So I'm gonna stay real to the streets. I'm gonna stay real to just whoever telling the truth, man, because it seems like every single time you ask all these questions on the internet, no matter where you go to or just people in general, it's like the only people that actually give you the truth is the people that actually is going through that has to go through the truth. You know what I'm saying? People that's without it, it's like it's like they act like things aren't governing them, but they're going through like trials every single day that they don't understand. So it's like they believe that since people don't have everything, or um, since people don't have everything and they have to abide by certain rules because they weren't granted certain opportunities as much as these people with a better step in the society was given, aren't aren't going through the same things that those people are going through. But in actuality, the people in those higher seats are going through just as much as those people in the lower seats that are going through, because and you could and because of the knowledge from which it stands, in which the origins of where everything comes from, which is nature. Hmm. Okay, so basically, okay, I shouldn't say it like that. Which would be nature. You could say that since those people in those seats, higher seats, don't know the truth just as much as those people don't know the truth, and I'm still learning myself, so I still got to go through a lot of things as well. But what I'm saying is that since they don't know the truth, since those higher seats don't know the truth, as much as you don't know the truth, they don't know that they're hurting themselves because they could be living in an infinite world with you as a friend, instead of trying to sell a product to you and you don't get this deal and this and that, and you can lose your job, you can be unemployed, you can go do this, you can go do that, you can find another job because you're super employable and stuff like that, but you're still working for somebody. Even if you work for a job and you got money behind you, stocks, bonds, and this whole insurance agency, this whole thing is backing you up, everything like that, and you really ain't gonna fall like that, no matter how you put it. If you do not know the truth of the origins in which everything came from in nature, and you're really supposed to be living without money, and money's keeping you away from being completely reproductive in the infinite world, then you are struggling infinitely in that realm. In that realm, you're part of that cycle as well as that person you're trying to sell that stuff to. You know what I'm saying? Because you're without the knowledge. The knowledge, the noggin that leverages you into the world of the all knowing, you know what I'm saying? And that's knowledge. Also the Illuminati wasn't that's why they would call those people the Illuminati, but the Illuminati wasn't really the Illuminati. Not these secret societies. The Illuminati was really Africa. But it wasn't really just Africa. Illuminati was everybody that was involved with biotechnology and the universal knowledge of our people. This would include like Southern America, South America, all our people, all types of deals like that. Aztecs. There were other pyramids above that. Um, Jamaica was involved. Like the Jamaican people, there's a lot of Rastafarians that were really vegan and they know about smoking the herbs. What's so trippy is that, okay, so all that makes sense. So, okay, going towards it. What's so trippy is that it sounds like the Rastafarians were really agitative about keeping their culture intact during this whole fight. It's like everything we go through, these niggas fighting the French, the British, the Europeans, and they win and fight after fight after fight. It's voodoo from New Orleans to Jamaica to Haiti. You know what I'm saying? And they smoking these herbs. They're not eating any type of meat. They straight vegan and they winning these battles. They freeing these slaves. It's just the whole nine. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because they practicing this sorcery. They winning all these fights. A lot of these things aren't documented, and there's a lot of women that's fighting back. But this is another gem that people don't even know about. Rasta is is a continuation of the culture of the Egyptian Ra, and right next door you would have the military of Egypt, the military brethren of Egypt in the Olmec culture of Mexico. And right next to there, you would have the Rastafarians. And the Rastafarian means the it would mean it would mean like the Rastafarian means the levitated creator, the levitated light, the levitated light of passion. That's the Rastafarian. The levitated light of passionless light being or something like that. Yeah, that's what Rastafari means. So back then you spoke in connotations of light frequency, and to this day we still use that connotation to describe our emotions in the frequented sound wave as words, and we can and these we speak in the so we were speaking acoustics when saying that. So I was thinking of the word English, but it's just I hear like it's like a hush. It's like a hush. It's like an in the language hush type deal, English. But that's what Rastafarian means, and that one means they would be pretty advanced in the sciences of technology, and seeing that they were right next door to the Olmecs, and they kept their sorcery, their medicine, their religion, which would be their sorcery, and some of their technology, which would still be their sorcery, because that is just the archives of our technology is in our religion, of how to do it. Our religion will reteach us. That's why it's so important for us to know whether or not they manipulated that Bible or any type of religions, because they can put y'all in that cycle and block off your nose, uh, the nose and no house. Because if they block that off you, they can put you in the cycle and you'll never know the truth, because you run back to the scripture. Okay, then you got to double back to the scripture, because everything isn't current. Everything isn't like not up to date, but everything isn't flowing. You know what I'm saying? So you're always gonna, hit that cycle. Oh, doesn't mean that, and then you start pointing the finger. Everybody start arguing. But I'm telling you right now, I'm setting you free, because this is truth. That is the truth. I'm setting you free. And what you gotta know is biology, is nature. You gotta know it from the dirt. If that book and any information doesn't say completely from nature and your reproductive organs on down, then it doesn't make scientific sense. Then you gotta let that go, because they just manipulating you. They can run up to you and talk about anything. That's even if you work for a company, corporation. If they're not talking about innovation, they're not talking about innovation or better in the community with all these problems around us, and we're one with nature. Trust me, yo, get out. Just get out, because whatever stocks and bonds you got holding up, your kids ain't finna eat from that. They gonna lose out eventually. I'm telling you, no matter what, fight for what's right to party. Fight for your right to party. You know what I'm saying? Keep fighting for that light, yo. So we can all get out of here, so we can go back to what we remember, so we can all be technological beings and live on forever. That's what we need to fight for, fight towards. So you can read the archives in the universe. So once we get back to our technological advancements, just like I said in my other video, um, water has memory. Water has a frequency. Our Astra has memory. Astra has a frequency. This is all true. This all corroborates what I've been saying. It's all corroborates with nature, and we are one. So we all saying it. So I'm saying what it's saying. Yo, once you get that technology in check, read me, yo. Like, you can go back and you can read everything that used to be here. Fuck fossils. You know what I'm saying? Like, forget all that. You can read everything that used to be here. Stuff around here probably still moving right now, because if it's so electronical, it can still move. It can be a ghost, astral, anything. It still move around. You can just click it back on, or it can be a frequency that was so great, that was so here, and we loved it so much that our being, as soon as we cross in that area, just our aura can touch a leaf and touch this, touch that, touch that. Now electricity touches everything, and it would trigger like a formation and a metamorphosis of electrons forming, reenacting the being's astral that was once here, and we see some crazy shit, or like a ghost, or feel a certain way, and it's really a feeling from a distant past that we were part of, that they recognize us from. It's just saying, hey, what's up? You know what I'm saying? You never know. Anything is possible, because anything is actually possible. They can't erase that shit. That's like these colors from this phone that's recording me and it's beeping and shit while I'm snoring. But crazy. But it's these bomber phones. Every minority has them. But just like all these lights that you can't see, they can't do nothing about that. That's how whether or not this reaches the realm or the helm of people that I wanted to reach to, so they can actually hear it and soak this in, they can't stop the transcendence of nature. They can't stop it. Even the people that's trying to stop it today are the 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 inheritance is the heritage of people that died out with a faulty plan, and now they have to take on the table of contents to actually believe that they can actually literally put their hands on nature itself that we're completely a part of. You know what I'm saying? Like them touching me is like grabbing a blade of grass and telling that shit to stop. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nigga, killing me ain't finna do shit. Like, nigga, you gonna die and we gonna succeed eventually. What you need to do is flip this whole table over and let's party so we can have a good time, so you can have as many squatties as you want. Whatever, they might have a dungeons of females, they might be kidnapping all, they might have technology at the womb, whatever. But you ain't living in the paradise of euphoria of if you got niggas locked up or if you got them hypnotized or whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? You ain't living the life that you want to live because we all connected. And you don't get that euphoric or paradise or parasitic paradisal or racic feel, orgasmic paradise, euphoric feel unless we're together. So you losing out, homie. No matter what you do. So it's a like I said, it's a even though they play that game to try to block us out, they dealing with their own woes too. You know what I'm saying? It's all scientific, and you can just say it from my two shoes. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing. It ain't hard. But if people don't know the truth, they can't really pan that out. Now everybody's in fear. They're talking about, oh, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? They gonna fuck up. We guys gotta keep being the light, keep trying to be creative, and just fight back and just say fuck them niggas and get out this shit like right now. Niggas knew that, they'll be gone. Chunk of deuces. You know what I'm saying? Everybody across the world and just start creating on their own. Man, what is a company, nigga? Like what? Like, come on, what food? We got dirt everywhere. Like, what? Trying to take seeds out of what, nigga? You gone. Stupid. You know what I'm saying? These are the same governments that telling us we can't do this and that and the other, but y'all gonna pass like y'all gonna let this food with no seeds pass y'all up. Like, and ain't nobody catching that. But y'all can do all this crossing and come on now. That's how you know we not up here right now. Cause we let that go by. And ain't nobody saying nothing. I'm pretty sure people did, but it's like, wow. You know what I'm saying? And you can reread the universe through like acoustics and lasers. So I'm pretty sure they getting some type of information now. These niggas made CDs. And they know our ancestral innovations, so they know something. Um, oh, okay, crazy, man. I done lined this up, so I must be getting something. I think it's saying an individual that does not know its own foundation can be subjected to constant illusions. Nigga, I'm telling you, that's what they be doing. Crazy. That's what they do. If you don't know, nigga, anybody can run up to you. That's why you gotta stand for something or fall for anything. I'm telling you, they can just run up to you, tell you anything. Oh, you know this and that. No, I heard. This, oh man, this is crazy, man. We gotta do something. Oh, this is what y'all doing. It's like, yeah, cause y'all doing it. Like, no, you gotta really know. You gotta really be from the earth. Like, don't have step or go all the way. So, prostitution is actually beating the system. I don't care what nobody say. You know, what they really trying to do is trying to take control of your reproductive organs. Women should be honored. All women, sex should be honored completely. But yeah, they just trying to control you from having sex, or just trying to control your creative and sexual nature. So you own one. You just skipping the system. But you're supposed to be having kids though. So they shame us for having sex. So kids or even as adults feel afraid. That's why we all watching porn and kids believe it's nasty, but they playing house every single time these niggas go to the park. You know what I'm saying? Or me, I'm like, what y'all doing? We playing house? Oh, that's so cute. What you mean playing house? You know what I'm saying? Like it's too real and it's so touchy. People, that's what you afraid for. It's like you made those kids that way. Why wouldn't kids know what that is, or you even teach kids what that would be? You know what I'm saying? Bitch, I got this clean ass watch from Walmart, and this whole like state of the art Fitbit hand, like first it was kind of like a wristband, but it's a watch and shit. And I've been waiting for this whole to kind of come out. Like I was the first one to kind of get like a watch, and I wanted the iWatch. And but as soon as that whole came out, it was like $600. I was like, suck, like no, you know what I'm saying? Not gonna happen. But I got the fake one from like it wasn't the fake one. It was a real watch from Traders Village in Arlington, Texas, and it was clean. It was before the iWatch came out, and I think they had a prototype, but um, they didn't even show the prototype of the iWatch, and I got that whole first, and that whole was clean. But okay, so I skipped that whole phase, and I'm predicting that this hoe gonna be clean too, and I saw the prototypes for that. You know what I'm saying? Like it was clean, and plus we seen movies like that and shit like that. So I wanted to be one of the first. I seen people with Fitbits and shit, but I ain't seen niggas like super rocking the Fitbits. But some people be rocking them hoes, and I just wanted one. So I bought one for $17, and that bitch wouldn't stop vibrating. So that hoe just it kept welcoming me. I thought it was really nice, but I had to return it. And they just messaged me back, said, "Tell me more about your give me more details." And I'm like, that bitch won't stop vibrating, and it keeps telling me hi. It's not working out. So yeah, so that shaming you in society, I can put this together with that anxiety and insecurity dimension that spirituality and the transcendence of science and biology, um, the knowledge of oneself, what will bring you back whole again. So this information that I'm giving you is making you whole again. You know what I'm saying? Your diet, um, why you'll be anxious to always have sex or stay away from hurt and harm and fear and stuff like that. So all this information will make you whole again. So why in the world would you be ashamed of having sex? You know what I'm saying? If out in nature, like I said, you wouldn't be worried about a single thing. You wouldn't be worried about people telling you, "Oh, that's nasty," or "Oh, you can't do it." "Oh, you. What about providing for your kid?" "Oh, you're anxious. You have anxiety now. You're being anxious. You got to find resources, and tripping. You stressed out. You're stressing your nerve, like you're stretching out, and you're giving tension to your nerves now, like you're stressing. In nature, biologically, scientifically, you are supposed to be completely secure because you are in complete coordinates, cooperation with nature. You would have nothing to worry about. Absolutely nothing. Nothing to worry about. So this making you ashamed of being natural and um, shameful for having sex while you don't know the actual truth. That means then you're receptive to, okay, well, what I need to do, or what I need to, so if I can't do this, what does this mean? Well, put these clothes on, or, you know, put them over there. You don't do this, or you don't do that, and, you got to get money or stuff like that. Now you become anxious because, now I got to get more because I want you. They got to eat, they got to do this, and I can't do this here, so what can I do? You gotta do it inside the house, and that costs $300 a month, or that costs, nigga say, where you living? That costs thousands of dollars or whatever you want to put it, however you want to put it. But now that makes you anxious because now you got to get more. You got to build up because now you want even more kids. And if you don't get more kids, okay, you want to at least let your genes pass on. So you got to make a bed for them, and this and that and the other. You got to do the best you can with the amount of time that you have to allow your offsprings to have the best chance possible to live in as long as they possibly can and reproduce with as many beings as they can, as long as your genes can continue on throughout all of eternity. Now, we are all one, so whether you live or die, you will always be reborn in some type of different formation or aspect and reclaim its formation through the energy of the universe, through the frequency of the cycle, which we would call the circle of life, and through the reincarnation of the recreations and calibrations of natural, I think I already said reincarnations, um, as through through um through new life, through children. You know what I'm saying? The goal is recreation, is evolution. It's not dying out. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing. Second is that you still want your genes to pass on, so you do feel that way because it is fun reliving. Third is you're not supposed to you're not supposed to be mating with these niggas weird. You're not supposed to be mating with just one person. You're supposed to be mating with multiple people. Nigga got shit to do. 12:47 in the morning. You're not supposed to be mating with multiple. I mean, you are supposed to be mating with multiple people, not just one. So you're not supposed to be living your life talking about, oh, I want to go, I want to get into marriage and I want to get a boyfriend and a girlfriend, I want to get a wife or a husband and stuff like that, just living one life. No, you're supposed to be mating with multiple people and you're supposed to be dealing with one and get as many as you can. And that's what people would call not only having that child, which would be translated over to having everlasting life, but you're supposed to be living that, you're supposed to be living, not that lifestyle, but you're supposed to be, what is it called? You're supposed to be living that lifetime with that person with as many as beings as you possibly can. Those children were called stories and lifetimes as well, as you were with that person sharing that lifetime, and those are what you would call those were those were those would be stories and lifetimes that y'all shared together was those children. And once you guys were done sharing those lifetimes, you will move on. Facts. You know what I'm saying? So it is true. So there would be nothing to be ashamed of. You having so many children, um, you having so many children, and you being intertwined with everybody else. Trust me, you will be so many relatives. Talk about incest. Incest is another formulation of words that actually means the inside of the universe. You know, there's a there's a there's also what is it called? A quantum. That's that would be spoken upon. Quantum physics would be like a formula inside of a formula, but these are just structuring. And nymphos had to go through this incest as well because they were the first to form, so they had sex and they made love and passion with one another as relative beings. So incest is actually completely natural as well. Science, and it's the truth. You know, people are afraid of that. What you afraid of that for? You know what I'm saying? Is another. That's a trigger. That's psychosis. See, these secret societies are also in depth in the sciences. I just gotta let y'all know that too. I'm talking about psychologically, technologically, geographically, biometrically, sociologically, all that stuff. They're well in depth in these advances. So much so that you cannot be in these you can't be within these plateaus, you can't be within these groups if you do not have a certain skill set. And they use these skill sets to apprehend you creatively in society through their wit. That's what masonry is like, brick and mortar. That's like creating, and free is just letting everybody know that I'm just a gene. I'm just a nemesis. I'm a menace to society. You know what I'm saying? Free doesn't mean that, but that's what they are. But it's just nemesis means like no to genetics, but which they'll be weeded out naturally, and they gotta know that too. So they got to do better. Or they'll, it's not looking good, you know. But they don't believe that. But I'm here, being a reincarnation of the light, and so is my family. And we may be just messages, but we're just angels. You know what I'm saying? Just as much as anybody else would tell you who are angelic, will tell you the truth and what they feel from their heart, which they know that'll happen to your being once you go there. You're gonna meet your maker, yo. And we telling you, we know. You know what I'm saying? It's not just a feeling. It doesn't have to be. We don't have to be Bible written or uh, holy rollers or nothing like that. You feel it in your gut. We're all a part of nature. That means you're really gonna feel it. You know. So don't strut. I gotta work on my rhymes. But you know what I'm saying? So all this stuff is lining up with what I'm saying. It gotta be a hell. you know, like I said, a piece of you does go. That piece of you that's saying that shit ain't gonna happen, that's the one that's gonna go. But damn, I was about to say something. How being on the right diet can ripen. Oh, okay. That's not what I was gonna say. But man, I forgot what I was gonna say. But man, I forgot what I was gonna say. But anyway, so that's what Freemasonry means. They're just saying that being free, they just know the knowledge, like how I know the knowledge. They know the knowledge of how free you are to actually make a choice in nature. So murder and killing is actually pretty natural, but you wouldn't do that on purpose just to kill something. You don't see animals out there killing each other just to kill them or something like that. There's always a reason. You know what I'm saying? If there was a being of any nature out there, just out there killing it, all the animals would be out there. Hey, this nigga tripping, like, you know what I'm saying? There's somebody out there, a lion, a moose, whatever is gonna stand up and is gonna, irk off on it. Like, nigga, you tripping out here in this jungle and you gonna get flipped. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna mob on your ass because we all a family. Stampede, nigga. You know what I'm saying? It's natural. That's natural. Us standing up for each other to be the light. You know what I'm saying? If not that happens, then you will suffer your fate after it happens to you. You know what I'm saying? And that would happen naturally. Soon enough, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So they just know Freemasonry, they can be sorcerers because they got the jump on our genes, and they know that they can just dump off on us because we don't know the truth. You know what I'm saying? As long as they keep us under wraps, then people just don't know, their truth, and they can't fight back like, Yu-Gi-Oh or something. Like you Yu-Gi, and you don't even got your cards. So, you know what I'm saying? You some superhero. You don't even know they got some contraption in the air that's suppressing your powers or stuff like that. But your powers come from your mind. You know that whole superhero deal. It's more about your morality than your powers, your character, rather than your powers and stuff like that. But they holding you back, and you don't even know that you really a superhero, and they still putting obstacles in your way to try to sway you otherwise, and trying to turn you evil and shit like that. But they don't know that somebody's greater is watching them, or one day they gonna meet their maker, or I'm gonna get my chance. You never know what might happen in 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 the world. You know what I'm saying? Like judges that try to prosecute people like that or something like this. You know what I'm saying? It's like how do you know the actual truth? You're that smart. You're so judgmental, but you're not actually taking the initiative of actually changing the world. You know what I'm saying? How could anybody dump on me or try to combat me, you know, the judge or the DA? How could you do that and try to sway crowds otherwise instead of actually being like, yo, and just dropping everything and being like, hey, he's right. We need to make a stand right now and change the world. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been doing since I was 5 years old, maybe even before then. But that's the age I completely recollect this. You know what I'm saying? Every single step that I took, I kept my mouth closed and tried to change the world. And they would try to prosecute me because I'm telling the truth. But people can't see behind those lines me actually standing up and being like, I'm sweating. This is blood on me. Like I literally went through the everything everybody can go through, plus aliens, and I still got to deal with corrupt officials that program people to believe in prosecuting people for telling the truth, and the people that they're entrusting in fixing all of their problems are the ones prosecuting the people that are that are out here trying to fix these problems. You know what I'm saying? Either fix these problems or actually are innocent individuals in which the people that are prosecuting them are supposed to be helping out by fixing their environment so they don't have to be crucified or dealing with desirable opportunities to make their situations better. You know what I'm saying? That they only have to do naturally, but were given um, undesirable circumstances. But they had to survive, and these are the only outlets that they gave them. That they would also be in cahoots with. Some of them are. You know what I'm saying? Because it's only common sense that you got to give people better opportunities than that. So obviously, you know something more than what you're saying if you're still trying to prosecute me instead of using your power and your will and your intellect to make the world a better place. You know what I'm saying? So these people ain't to be trusted, and you can't trust these people with nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather trust myself than the people that actually want to make a change. That's actually going to stand up to not only themselves, the people in these uniforms, but it's going to stand up to that person that's blocking the place in their heart that wants to be that where that part of them in their selves wants to be that great heroic person, that great heroic person that wants to be the light, that wants to be that love that they're out there searching for, that heroic hero that's gonna search, that's gonna defy all obstacles and actually beat everybody. Got the last part wrong. That's actually gonna be that person. You know what I'm saying? You could be that person, but they choose otherwise. You know what I'm saying? Don't be ashamed of me or the judge or the reaper or the DA or nothing like. Be ashamed of yourself because you could have stood up. You know what I'm saying? Speaking to anybody, you could have stood up and been a hero, but it's just they gon' they'll know one day. Devion Johnson. Nigga, some nigga named Devion Johnson added me and shit. I just got done talking to James. Nigga, Devin Johnson? The fuck? How being on the right diet can, I don't know. You like the nigga lost weight. I don't think that's that nigga. Hey, he's working out. That's not that nigga. Got to change. So, god damn. Nigga, Instagram is a thirst trap. You can't go on that bitch to do shit, nigga. I be on there 2 hours. I ain't coming out of my room. And I'm cleaning. And how being on the right diet. So, I was on Venice Beach and I was being trained by aliens and they was teaching me about diet and stuff. And they was like, why white people get sunburns and stuff like that. But the white people that was vegan and actually on the right diet was not retrieving any of these sunburns at all. These niggas was as ripe as a fucking Georgia peach. Like I'm talking about the females, don't get it twisted. But I was talking about white people too. I didn't want to go there. But yeah, they was on vegan diet, drinking complete water. Them niggas ain't have a problem. Yeah, homeless white people out there wasn't tripping at all. No sunburns. Crazy, you know. Also, chicken pox. When was the last time you heard people having chicken pox? Go back to my last video. It was crazy. Um, Germs and viruses need a pathogen. Everybody back then was eating box macaroni. Like we, I'm not saying it like that. I'm just saying we all had to eat like the same thing. We was all watching the same commercials, so on and so forth. So it would have been pretty easy to put a pathogen wave so we can catch whatever they were putting out there just as an experiment. And people don't even get it no more. So, push come to shove, man, crazy. It's like that, food, drugs, environmental responsibility. These people out here, these governments are mimicking who we are as people of the light, and that is governors of the universe. Not only nature, but governors of the universe, in which we do everything right that is supposed to be done, doing it, and that is our job, and that's us being the light. And they're trying to steal our jobs in doing that. That's why people actually still look up to the government, because they're actually imitating who we are of the light, and those are Christians, life savers, light savers, right? Jesus, ain't me. Um, um, so you can get depression and anxiety from bad food too, because your current will be off. So since you understand the electrical current and insecurity and security, and um, security is just another word for your nervous system, and insecurity means a dysfunctional nervous system. That means something has to be realigned in order for your nervous system to come back up. Uh, that's just that's just what that means. There's somebody around here, and yeah, there's somebody listening. I learned ain't no such thing as coincidence. You know what I'm saying? Maybe randomized coincidences, but you hear something, you feel something. That's usually what it is. So it's 1 o'clock. I'm about to go. 1:37. That was pretty good. Um, so with that being said, I have another note here. People ultimately want change, and that is absolutely true. That's including the judges, DAs, the informants, the jury, all types of people. People just ultimately want change, and they think throwing people away is just a part of nature, and nature speaking through them, and doing the right thing is gonna help their problems. That one more person is put away, one figment of their imagination of fear and anxiety is put away. And it's gonna change the world, and it's not unless you really put your foot down and actually change it for real. Don't come up to me talking about you did it. And like, nigga, ain't nobody do shit. How about you go out there and actually do something to make a change? Stop buying lattes, frappe lattes. Your brain triangle is the infinity sign. Oh yeah, that's actually true again. See, Adam and Eve, your reproductive organs are actually infinite. That means infinite inside each other, and it's frequenting an infinite frequency that that replicates the light, which is infinite. And we are inside the light, and inside the light is darkness, and inside darkness is color, and inside the color is light. And as we know, the brain is also a replica of, not replica, but also is also it's also, I don't want to say it's not replicas. It's also not an imitation. It's the same as your booty. It's just it has a different job. I wish there was a better word to say that. Oh, so it's just see, when you poop and piss, it's a recreation in the ground, goes into the soil, and as you think and put things into air, it's like it's a lot electronical um devicism, devicism. It's called being divisive, and you're actually sending electrodes throughout the air and protons throughout the air when you think and imagine about things, and it's actually going through the universe and creating things elsewhere and recreating things with your imagination throughout the universe, whether you believe it or not. You know what I'm saying? I've explained so many things that people believe that, just because they think about things, it actually doesn't make a difference, and it actually does. And things actually do happen out there in outer space that you would not believe, that you're actually thinking about, that you're actually connected to. We are really a part of greater things. You know what I'm saying? So it really matters what we do here, out there. Um, um, I would not eat green eggs and ham anywhere, but it's actually true. So pee, urinate, fecal matter. It's a recreation. You think, you do things. Um, your actions put you on the pathways, and it puts you in a series of events in which your thought processes has attracted you to the law of attraction. You know what I'm saying? That's also, as well as you actually putting things out there in the universe and actually happen, and those frequencies actually happen other places. So I said the nimbuses, and so this so um so you will be judged one day. Um, it's just natural biology. You can't keep going through life doing the things that you do, and these places were called Sodom and Gomorrah. You know what I'm saying? Um, Sodom is like the hatred of sex, and Gomorrah means like constant. Um, what is it? Constant murder and stuff like that. And it's a very bad place. But it's just to teach you a lesson, and that's about the end of that. That's where I'm gonna end it. That's good.
All right.
Yeah, wow, what's up?
No, I'm just wondering.
Okay.
Kind of late.